one from Forsyth Barr Stadium here in Dunedin, and in the world of rugby league, you cannot head too much further south than this. It is quite a treat to be here, as you've heard and you would know, the first time a rugby league test has been played in this city since 1928. The first time a rugby league test has been played at this very impressive venue, Forsyth Barr Stadium, that opened mid-2011. Enthusiastic crowd in as we check in on the results so far in Four Nations. We're up to game number 5. England opened with that 6-point win over Samoa. New Zealand, terrific win over Australia. And then 2 thrillers last weekend. The Kiwis by 2 over Samoa and Whangārei. And the Aussies got out of jail against England by 4. And that leaves us with the standings. Not just the points tally, but the points differential. So important going into today, and indeed at the end of 80 minutes today. We'll keep you across all of that, because what happens here will impact enormously on tomorrow. Australia versus Samoa in Wollongong. Kiwis' arrival here in Dunedin. Mixed week as far as weather is concerned. That's not a problem come game night, the indoor stadium here. New Zealand, look, it's a simple equation for them. They win, of course, they're into the final. If they lose, well, then it's in the lap of the gods with for and against. If they lose by more than 10, England will edge ahead of them, and they will have to wait and see what happens tomorrow between the Aussies and Samoa. And England, well, their last Four Nations visit to this part of the world was pretty disappointing. They won only one match. That was against Papua New Guinea. They don't want to go home again this time without tasting what it's like to be in a decider. And they've made a couple of changes to their side to get themselves ready for today. Look, it's a key change. At hooker, you will see Daryl Clark is starting. No Josh Hodgson this week, so a lot of minutes from the man of steel from the Super League this year. And the number 18, Elliot Whitehead. You won't know too much about him, but believe me, he's been a star in the Super League. 19 tries playing with the Catalan Dragons, who qualified for the finals and almost got all the way to the final this year. So very happy for him that he has made the England side for this one tonight. I think it's a better side for his inclusion, and with Clark starting at hooker. Coached by Steve McNamara, the England side. Kiwis also making a couple of changes from their team of last week. Let's hear from the coach, Steve McNamara.
Steve, just the one change to your starting side, the reasons behind it?
Oh, we're very happy last week with the performance against Australia. Look, it was a fingertip from going one way or the other, so there was no need for drastic changes. And but just assessing the game and looking at what the opposition we've got this week, we felt Elliot Whitehead would be right to come in, and Daryl Clark starts.
How do you approach a game where you know you've got to win by a certain margin? Yeah,
just try and win the game. I think both teams are talking the same. It must be difficult for New Zealand knowing they can lose, but not by so many, and for us we have to win by so many. So that's out of the equation. It's a test match. It's New Zealand in New Zealand. It's extremely tough. We've got to go through the process of winning a normal game, and hopefully that'll be enough for us.
Steve McNamara there, coach of England. This New Zealand side, well, I feel desperately sorry for Lewis Brown. He was great the first 2 weeks, but he loses his spot here. Thomas Leuluai will start at hooker, and Greg Eastwood into the side on the bench. Luke relegated to the bench this week. Let's now hear from the Kiwi coach, Stephen Kearney.
Well, Stephen, it feels like a final. Does it feel like that for you tonight, knowing what's on the line?
Yeah, I mean, certainly there's a lot on the line tonight with the result of the game. So we've certainly been preparing that way this week.
What have you been preparing for this week, considering the way the side performed against Samoa? Yeah,
we understand that we needed to lift the intensity in all aspects of our preparation. We recognise that we were off the pace a bit last week. A little bit with attitude, and so we prepared knowing that it's going to take a really tough performance tonight.
Best of luck, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Let's hope we can get a repeat of the World Cup semi-final at Wembley last year. My co-commentator Daryl Halligan, we had the very good fortune of being there for that match. Not just a great test match, one of the great games of rugby league in history.
And expecting something so similar here this evening, Vossi. I like the Kiwi side. I think they have plenty of improvement in them. If you looked at the English side, I think they're the form team of this competition, even if they go down to Australia by 4 points last weekend. Big efforts required from Peta, Hiku off the bench. Execution out wide on their block plays to come to the fore this evening for New Zealand to score some points.
The England side first out. November 23 last year it was at Wembley. Big crowd. And New Zealand got up 20 points to 18. And here are the Kiwis, led out by Simon Mannering. Terrific reception, and tonight Mannering moves to 5th on the all-time list of appearances for New Zealand, ahead of Nathan Kalis.
Also a special evening here, Vossi, for the young lady who will sing the English national anthem this evening. Sophie Morris is the daughter of Dr. Paul Morris, who was a Kiwis doctor in 89 and 90. Also a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well.
We will stand by for the anthems. Mannering also ahead of Nigel Vunganar on that list of test appearances. The crowd here, I can tell you, on the broadcast side of the ground, the northern side of the ground, it is absolute to capacity. A little under on the southern side. And now God save the Queen.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Stand her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the
And a fair contingent of English support here at the ground tonight, and indeed in the city of Dunedin.
Hei oa atua o ngā iwi mātoa a ta whakaronga me aroa noa ki a ua ko te pai ki a tauto a ta whai mana ki ti a mai a te aroa. God of nations at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defends New Zealand.
This is quite the event. We've been here the last couple of years to Dunedin for pre-season trials, Warriors against Brisbane. And while there was a good feel at both of those games, in particular before the 2013 season kicked off, nothing like this. And I mentioned the city tonight, those not at the ground, the Craft Bar right in the centre of town. There's a huge crowd there, and they've put out the England and New Zealand colours. As now we await the haka. Issac Luke at the centre of it all. We're firing up here at Forsyth Barr Stadium. It is 22 years since Great Britain beat New Zealand here in New Zealand. This is the 10th time that New Zealand has played England, and the Kiwis have the advantage. 5 wins, England have won 3. There has been 1 draw.
Bossy, just a quick hello to the New Zealand Women's Rugby League team, who tomorrow play the Jillaroos down in Wollongong in the curtain raiser to Australia versus Samoa, the last pool match in this Four Nations.
Phil Bentham, referee. Controversy over non-neutral referees. We've got Phil Bentham, the man from Lee, in charge here. Henry Perinara is video referee. Not too far away from a start. They clashed in the Four Nations in 2010 in Wellington. There's a few survivors from that match, if you like. The Kiwis were winners on that occasion, 24-10. Let's have some fun. Game 5 of the Four Nations here in Dunedin tonight. And Smith took the catch for Burgess to come storming back on the first hit-up. Viewers across Sky Sport in New Zealand, Jim on Channel 9 in Australia, Premier Sports in the UK. Great to be with you tonight. And for those of you in the early hours in the Northern Hemisphere, there are half a dozen Wigan players in this England side. Well, here's my first stat. They're 19,000 kilometres from home tonight. As Farrell works the left edge. And Leuluai low down with Johnson over the top, 15 metres inside their own half. And Graham now with the ball. He in fact was captain of the England side back in that Four Nations game in 2010. Kick downfield from Smith. You heard the call, clearly outside. Hiku on the charge to bring it back for New Zealand.
Good set to start for this English side. Graham, of course, 2 touches. Burgess in the middle of it as well. Hiku catches it on the field.
This is a fantastic venue as Kenny-Dowall took that touch. We are indoors. The roof internally 37 metres above the playing surface. I reckon Shaun Johnson might give it a shake tonight.
There's only been 1 player who's ever kicked the ball that's touched the roof, and that was Stephen Larkham of the Brumbies, would you believe, coaching the ACT at the time.
40 metres away from the England line. And now Taumalolo. There's the footwork that we've come to know and admire of this young Cowboys back rower. Leuluai back to centrefield Johnson. Here comes the first kick of the night. It's not at his Warriors teammate. It's out towards Hall. He goes up. Kiwis have got it. Nightingale has come down with it. Nightingale, I think, has scored for New Zealand. Referee Bentham is checking with his sideline official. There was the smallest bubble, and they will just check it.
It's on the last tackle.
With a video referee.
We've got to try. We're just checking whether the ball's been knocked onto the English fella.
Correct here. If the ball, when it's not taken in its first catching attempt by Nightingale, who did oh so well to get up and above Hall, and maybe it's just touched an English jumper before he regathers it and comes to ground. Someone ends up on his back.
Rob.
Such was the contest. Good kick from Johnson. What about the run from Taumalolo? An early touch down the left channel. Step to the right.
Okay.
And here,
we got Tom Leuluai as well for them, re-gripping.
We'll have a little bit of a look. Only 1 player offside.
That's Jesse Bromwich. He won't play any part in the chase.
Good height on the kick, and what lands a metre and a half out from the try line. Near perfect. Hall doesn't really go up for it. Doesn't look like there's a touch there, although that camera's a fair way away. Let's have a look here.
Ooh,
well, if it has come off Hall, it's then gone to Nightingale, so it's a try. There's no problem. Once actually ball ends up closer to Nightingale, that is sweet.
I think you've read it the right way, and how spectacular is that in slow motion of Nightingale, the juggle. It's rolled across his eyeballs just about. He has scored a try in each of the first 2 weekends of the Four Nations.
Yep.
He's also bombed one, but this is a pretty handy trick. Watch it again.
He had them trimmed this afternoon. Up it goes. Just grabs the right arm as it goes up the forehead, or the forearm, should I say, and then traps it. Brilliant work. Such a competitor.
23rd test for the St George Illawarra winger. Jason Nightingale scores for the Kiwis.
Ryan Horse swallowed everything Australia pumped his way in the test match last week. Had a fine match too. Loved the try he scored. But he does get very square when he's catching the football. This time, he actually gets to his side. Here's the run from Taumalolo. Lovely how he just moves his body in amongst the line. And then the finishing play, near perfect from Johnson. He can actually kick it higher than that, I believe. And so here, he does get side on. Perhaps he just gets a little bit in front of the ball, Hall, and ends up catching it back over the top of his head. But Nightingale, wow.
Well, I would say in the scheme of things with Shaun Johnson's best bombs, that is half what he could do, but it's where it come down, and that's the point you've made. Just short of the goal line. All momentum is with the chaser. And Nightingale had the big leap on Ryan Hall, and now Johnson, the player that absolutely crushed the hearts, obliterated the hearts of England in that World Cup semi-final last year, scoring the try and converting the try to win. As this first kick inside 3 minutes. And Johnson is successful. 6-0, golden start for the Kiwis.
Not such a great day with the boot last week in Whangarei. Get a picture of Jason Nightingale, the try scorer. Pretty windy conditions, however. Won't have any of those effects here in the stadium this evening.
Stay off. Onside, boys.
So England a little rattled by that, and Sam Tomkins gets us into the next passage of play. 12-0, the Kiwis led that match back in 2010 as Blair is met by the white wall, and that's what they like to call it for England. 4 defenders there in that tackle. And now Proctor. He's been good in particular. That first half against Australia 2 weekends ago. Melbourne Storm player in this New Zealand side. Here's another of them. And Bromwich driven back. Graham down low.
Wait on 3, go.
Burgess in there, in fact, the entire front row. Clark was the third of the trio. Now Leuluai.
Good run from Leuluai too, making 18 metres.
Plenty of test experience in the legs of Thomas Leuluai. 33rd test tonight. And Issac Luke off the bench, 31 on the board this evening. Away for Foran to kick. Doesn't get a challenge from O'Loughlin. Really an in-between kick from Foran. Went straight down the throat of Tomkins, and now Charnley with it.
The only good thing about that kick from Kieran Foran is he's actually put boot to ball. No time at all to kick. Good chase from O'Loughlin. It was chasing up through. Here's Hall up through the middle.
Yeah, well, you got one beast on the left wing for England. You got one beast on the left wing for New Zealand. They are big boys, Hall and Vatuvei. What about that run, Sarginson?
You reckon we can just script it to get Hall and Vatuvei to come across and mark each other just for a couple of minutes, Vossi? Entertainment value?
That would be nice. As Smith works right side and Tomkins put out a fend. And Bromwich came across and added his weight to the tackle. But a promising set here from England. 30 metres away from the New Zealand line. Smith gets them to centre field. Graham met by Blair. Got it back to Smith. There's an overlap on the left side. If they can get it there. Widdop is forced back infield. And that is tackle number 5. And they'll get a penalty on tackle number 5. Leuluai is pinned.
Deep in the tackle count. Dean Whare playing right centre, rushed up and shut down a pretty desperate situation for New Zealand. As he's done all competition.
Tap with England, and Burgess soldiers forward to take it inside the 20 for the first time tonight for England. Widdop takes it right, Smith, brilliant build-up, Tomkins is manhandled there by Kenny-Dowall. A little tap on, they just about score. Now Watkins back to centre field. Dangerous. Has scored a try in each of the first 2 weeks as well. 5 from the line. Clark is dummy half. No backup hooker tonight. Now Widdop. Again, it's brilliant. With Tomkins out to Hall. That is fantastic execution from England. Sarginson the last pass. Hall scores on the left. And what a swift reply.
Magnificent. The penalty deep in the last set of 6 means a repeat set of 6 for England. And their attack blistering. Done a lot of work on the right-hand side. And that's attacking the Kenny-Dowall side. We knew they'd go there. And then equally adept on the left. Lovely pass by Widdop to Tomkins. Out the back. Could have scored himself, Sarginson. Selfish, or unselfish should we say, in giving it on to Hall. But just beautiful execution. Nightingale didn't know whether to go up, come back. Possibly a better move would have been to put some pressure on Sarginson. No way Johnson was going to get there.
You and Kallum not making it back.
Now 23 test tries for that man on screen. What an imposing figure he is. Ryan Hall. If you followed his progress actually this year in the Super League playing for Leeds, he was actually in a try-scoring drought for the second half of the year. He scored only 3 tries in his last 13 games, and Leeds were knocked out in the first week of the playoffs, but he's picked up where he left off as far as test duties were concerned. 8 tries at last year's World Cup, and another one here tonight in Dunedin.
He's quite the player, isn't he? 4 grand final wins as well, over 200 games for Leeds. Now Gareth Widdop, tough assignment for his first.
Kicking indoors tonight, Widdop. It was indoors, of course, at Millennium Stadium in Cardiff for the opener of the World Cup, and off the upright. 6-4 scoreline, New Zealand, England, tense tonight.
Yes, mate, that's better.
How's she going to last 80 minutes? We've got Owen Guttenbill on the sideline. Owen loving the atmosphere here.
Oh, outstanding with the roof on. The sound just bounces around the ground. I know the English boys were really excited about playing here. They fancied themselves to play an up-tempo game. Just on those 2 tries, the clearing kick, the set before from England, Smith's kick, straight down the throat of Peta Hiku, New Zealand score. Kieran Foran, his kick goes straight down the throat of England. They come down, take the metres, they come up with points. Very important to find space with the kick.
Owen Guttenbill sideline duties and a ferocious charge back from Burgess sets up the set for England to get back over the 20. And England in possession on their own 30. Graham to play it. It really looks an outstanding front row as Widdop takes the left side. Tomkins with a fend, then runs around O'Loughlin. Okay, the call. Smith, they're sweeping left and right, England, aren't they? Tomkins now pokes his nose through the defensive line. But there's no shortage of confidence in their attack here. And Burgess gets another run in this set. Almost raised the forearm there as he got to Proctor. There was some oohs and ahs in the crowd here.
Massive yards. They're just loving this, aren't they, England?
And now quick, they roll on. Graham with it, brilliant again. And Farrell with the ball, almost obstruction. Now back with it, on fine to say play on.
He ran the wrong way. There were 3 on the outside, on the left.
This has simply been a brilliant set from England. And Smith is going to bomb out towards Vatuvei, who's up. And very cool. And Manu comes down with the ball in front of the western end of the ground. They call that the zoo where the crowd are there.
In terms of percentages, it's probably the right thing to do to get a kick in early and boot to the corner. I would have so loved them to run it. They had New Zealand on the back foot there. Here's Manu.
Release now.
This is real test match footy here. Carrying on what has been a fantastic first fortnight of this tournament. And it's all at stake. Any 2 of the 4 teams can make the final as Hiku goes centre field. Yes, even Samoa could qualify.
Move, last tackle.
If New Zealand was to win here and Samoa pull off an upset tomorrow against the Kangaroos. Now Johnson got away from one and is still going. He can make a defence look silly, Shaun Johnson. At the end of it, he wasn't able to offload, and it's a changeover 20 metres inside England's half.
Great to see Shaun run the football. Had many an opportunity to actually kick once he'd run the line and got him behind as well. Just took it 1, 2 more, too much.
Hold here, goal first.
So Clark sends them to the left. And we get into the struggle. Sarginson centre field. We first saw Sarginson in New Zealand, started this year playing for Wigan against the Warriors in Hamilton as Watkins on that right edge. That was in the lead up to the World Club Challenge, and he made a good impression. The young centre for England, Sarginson.
They've got a great shift going, haven't they, at the moment with the English forwards. Block shape out the back. Graham's in the mix. O'Loughlin's brilliant at it.
35 metres already made in this set. Now O'Loughlin with a band. Oh, gee, look forward. The short pass there to Farrell. The bulk of the supporters in black here tonight agreed. Bentham says last tackle. Widdop is going to bomb towards Hiku. It's batted back. It's play. Oh, hello! Waiting down the other end of the street was Bromwich. Well, that was Luxa Fortune there. Now Taumalolo with a right foot step. Oh, and he's thrown a pass over the head of Manu Vatuvei, who's big. But he's not that bloody big to try and catch that. It's cleared his head by 3 metres.
He's a giant. He's not that big a giant.
First thing, George, it came off England.
Tap by Tomkins back. Jesse Bromwich just picks it up and then offloads out the back. And here New Zealand needed to play, but there's only a couple of people there. Taumalolo picks it up, steps and goes. Should have thrown it the first time. Had a little show and go, and then decides to throw it late. If he'd thrown it when he first shaped the throw it, Manu's in the clear.
George.
All the energy, however, in the opening stages of this game is with the English side. New Zealand needed to play, they were slow in doing so.
I don't think Bromwich was going to run 80 metres, was he? He was looking to offload as soon as the ball came his way. England, what a chance for them. They start a set 25 metres away from the New Zealand line. Farrell's having a busy night. One of those Wigan boys in the team.
His target's Johnson.
15 metres away, what he said, two goes at Shaun Johnson there. Now Clark, he loves to run. Got a little invitation there. The old rabbit punch there from Kevin Proctor. 5 metres away from the line. England down by 2. Entertaining start to the test. Graham collared by Bromwich. Well, there was nothing in it. I mean, that was a cuddle, not a high tackle.
I mean, I think you'll find it's just ridden up off the shoulder or maybe the forearm of James Graham. Don't see him run that line too often. Normally runs out, coming in, back in on this occasion.
No thought of penalty goal to lock it up. Let's go the try, England say. Burgess tackled on the goal line. Well, they are set. Interesting formation here, right-hand side. And Clark just dummies, and Clark somehow is denied a try by Bromwich. And also by Hiku. England with Smith. Then for Tomkins. Can that ball for Charnley? Charnley stumbles. Finished off there by the New Zealand captain.
Nearly swallowed by Manu.
This crowd is up the volume. Plenty of decibels. O'Loughlin.
4. Move, Kevin.
10 away. Scored the opening try of that World Cup semi. England locked forward. Now to the right. Intercept chance. Nightingale knocked down. Farrell is onto it. England have the ball. Across it comes for Tomkins. That's Joel Tomkins. Then for Watkins. Tries to stand up. Kenny-Dowall has lost the ball. He was trying to offload. Advantage well and truly played. And New Zealand hang on.
We've got some problems out here. Right side for Jason Nightingale. And Sarginson for the English. He comes in to make a spot tackle. Here it is here, and it goes a little wrong. The head clash, up and out. Sarginson stays down. Ooh, that's nasty.
Wow. That has split open the head of Jason Nightingale right in the centre of the forehead. Dan Sarginson's in no great shape either, as you can see.
14 minutes into the game, and that's the first mistake this English team has made, if you want to call it a mistake. But again, full width attack, plenty of metres up through the middle, courtesy of the big guys, and Burgess, O'Loughlin's playing great ball playing, locked. And then off to the left and then back to the right. It was Watkins who took on Kenny-Dowall. He knew he was going to get some traffic.
It's the tempo.
Find his winger.
It's the tempo they're playing at, Chook. They're just coming forward, getting quick play of the balls, and they're really testing the Kiwis out on the edges. They're having to come up with some big defensive play, the Kiwis. You definitely say that the English are looking very, very good at the moment.
Yeah, they'll have to take Nightingale from the field to tend to that cut. Tohu Harris will come on for the Kiwis. Just keeping in mind some possible scorelines tonight, but if England wins by 10 points or more, they will go past New Zealand on the Four Nations standings. A win by 10 or more would seal a spot for England in the Four Nations final next week in Wellington.
Okay, boys.
So possibly Tohu Harris will jump into the pack. Simon Mannering will pop out the centre position on the right-hand side, and Whare maybe onto the wing.
They've got more drama here. Thomas Leuluai he's going off as well. I think it's a concussion test for Thomas Leuluai. It was in the packing of the scrum they got him off. This is quite uncertain times here for the Kiwis. Vatuvei centre field.
Hiku into dummy half.
Well, it's the blood rule as well for Thomas Leuluai. Bentham sent him out of the scrum, but all the training staff for the Kiwis have been tending to Nightingale. So now they've got a double change. And they count as two interchanges.
Move! Come back! Wait here!
New Zealand with the ball. Isaac Luke comes on. Kiwis 15 metres inside their own half. Taumalolo. Well, they know that he's got the moves. Right and left foot.
Release now!
Just short of halfway. Imagine being that big and being able to step the way he does, like Benji Marshall. Wow. Johnson goes for the roof. He's about 4 metres short. And Hall has fielded it. That's an over 30-metre high kick from Shaun Johnson.
He's done well, Hall there. He looks a little bit nervous in attempting to catch a football, but he tends to swallow it, and I love the way he just bounces as soon as he's caught it and ducks off and gets good speed.
Wait on 2. Go.
So England in possession, 15 inside their own half, and Watkins is the man with the ball who's come in from right centre, and an army of Kiwi defenders there, Mannering the main one. Now Graham on that right edge, good footwork, Graham got straight past Issac Luke like he was a turnstile, and now Clark takes the run at Issac Luke. You better get in touch with the speed of this game. Issac coming off the bench. As Owen said on the sideline, England really playing up tempo. Now Smith, a bomb out towards the wing. No one wants to compete from New Zealand. Knocked back by Hall. Sarginson's offloaded. Widdop, nice footwork. 20 metres out. Now a second kick. Vatuvei doesn't get it. Mull gone forward to Kenny-Dowall. It has.
It's a knock on.
They call it knock on and not offside. Manu says, sir, I didn't touch it.
Have a look.
Yelling out, have a look. There's a great kick from Widdop. First they go to the left and get a little tap on, uncontested, and then they come right across to the right. Well, to be fair, has touched the right arm of Josh Charnley and then promoted infield. Kenny-Dowall to pick up the spoils. The hands of Charnley were inside the hands of Manu Vatuvei. Let's have a look here.
Charnley is there. Look, Daryl, I'm not going to go heavy on the on-field officials for missing that, but we clearly see on that replay, Charnley there first. And there's Widdop slipping. Can't blame the surface for that one. It is in perfect order. But another chance for England. And aren't they mobile tonight?
75% field position.
10 away from the line. Clark, Widdop goes out the back, fielded by Tomkins. May have been played out by the Kiwis. Sam Tomkins, that is, offloads to his brother Joel. And now Joel, a dual international, is only full from the line. Wrapped up by Taumalolo. 6 for the Kiwis. They scored inside 2 minutes. Graham's been outstanding. Widdop, little juggle on that edge. Farrell cops the tackle of Johnson and Tohu. Harris is playing right centre. Whare, right wing. Widdop, they come that way. Sam Tomkins went short.
Great tackle, Harris. Tohu Harris. Or the Proctor.
Sarginson held up. Bad ball. Widdop gets it. 15 out. Tries a kick. Kenny-Dowall has turned around. Hiku gets across. The white wall. It's a mobile white ball. They come from everywhere.
What about the bounce? Everyone missed it. A brilliant tackle from Proctor on the right edge. Saves the try. And then Widdop puts it in. Foran thinks he's going to catch this cleanly. Then it skips up over the top of him. And this bounce here is really important. Hiku's coming across and he'll come into frame. Tries to duck under Burgess, but cops a brilliant shot square on. And is only going one way once Burgess provides the shoulder.
Well, all New Zealand is doing at the moment is hanging on, having to scramble, having to claw their way out of this one as England throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at the home team. Burgess, it's his best start to a match. I think he's been a little quiet in the Four Nations, to be honest. I don't think he can do that. I don't think he can be held and just put the ball on the ground like that. And Bentham has ruled the right way for Mum.
Commentators curse.
You put it down before I call the tackle.
Only once have New Zealand been actually tackled in the opposition half. 63% possession for England. Let's have a look here. Proctor's up top. Blair gives up downstairs and comes in for a second time.
We've got to
wants to play the ball.
Bentham was explaining, you can't just go to plate if I haven't called help.
Heads in.
Well, Bentham in charge. He hails from Lee, the story of the referee who did the last test in Dunedin in 1928. He was also from Lee. Hang on a second. James has been called out here.
Come with him, please. Don't say anything yet. Don't say anything. Time off. Pardon?
He's trying to pluck in his fucking hands all over it.
Yeah. What we've got is we've got an angry reaction, okay, by James. That's what's fueling everything. Stay relaxed. Come on.
Oh, stay relaxed, stay calm. We should get a T-shirt. That's a great idea.
Okay,
we should have a cup of tea.
Hey.
Stay relaxed. An angry reaction. I was just going to say the referee from 28. He was from Lee. He set off an Englishman. You know what happened, Daryl? He never refereed again. He went home and never refereed another game. New Zealand with the ball. Thomas Leuluai currently going through a concussion test.
First, Mitchell!
Kiwis 15 metres inside their own half. Just stay relaxed. Hard to relax on such a big night. Taupau's out there now for New Zealand. 5 inside their own half. Taumalolo. As a coach, Stephen Kearney, you've got to be ready for anything. Well, there's been a multitude of changes that he wouldn't have been planning to make. Taupau gets his first run. And it's a big charge. They're also going to get Greg Eastwood on in a moment. Now Luke takes off. Been a while since New Zealand has been down this end of the field. And
good call.
They get a penalty.
O'Loughlin just slowing to play the ball down too much. Too quick play the balls in a row for the Kiwis there after 2 slow ones to start the set. Exactly what they were after.
They are attacking the eastern end of the ground, and you see it looks a bit bare. That's where they have the concerts here. They can bring in the grandstand seating if necessary. 15 away from the line. New Zealand on the attack with Luke Holton up beautifully for Foran and for Manu, who had his equal best try-scoring year in the NRL for the Warriors. Now Luke to Foran to Johnson. This is where they're dangerous. Tohu Harris Hall got in face of Harris.
Catch and pass, and Whare scores. Great tackle, Hall.
And away from the line, back for Johnson. Now to centre field for Eastwood. Well known to English fans and players after a stint with Leeds. And Luke to Foran. Hiku, long ball. Vatuvei, he'll own the corner, but I'm not sure if he got it down. Manu has not got up claiming a try.
I think he's lost it.
Time off.
It's not often that you can stop the big fella from scoring that close. But from that look, absolutely England have done it.
So now New Zealand time to execute, courtesy of the penalty. They shift it to the right to start with, and then feedback for the block shape to get Hiku involved and wrapping round to the left. Here's the ball to Manu, steps off his left, straight into Charnley, and the contact's lost it to start with. Didn't even get to the line. So a knock on, sees another error. New Zealand's 4th in this match so far.
Well, Charnley put his body on the line there. I mean, what else do? You've just got to grab whatever you can with Manu.
Yes, mate.
Whatever appendage you can grab hold of, you grab. To try and tackle him and put him to ground, and he's forced the turnover. And England will get a scrum feed 10 metres away from their line.
Just say it again.
Manu's got some awful memories of that Four Nations game in Wellington 4 years ago. Broke his arm in the opening minutes. That was a real low point in his career.
Just the way this game has gone, all the New Zealand bench has been used to date, and England yet to make a change.
Well, that's the worst scrum I've ever seen break up. They broke up like it was the last day of school. They wanted to get out of there that quickly. And the scrum had all disbanded, and Bentham blows a differential penalty. Good on him. Don't let it go. Let's have attention to detail in that department.
Here, lads, that's it. Good.
So I like that. Many people liking the one referee down in this part of the world too. Hill takes the run up. Elliot Whitehead is now also out there on debut. He's in jumper 18. He'll play the right edge for England. He's a big boy. Hails from Bradford, but he's been a real star for the Catalans club the last couple of seasons. And now Clark to Hill. Hill's been as good as any front rower, and even though he's coming off the bench, he's been great in this tournament. Clark onto O'Loughlin, then Widdop, good again, Farrell that edge, Harris hangs on with Eastwood, but England find themselves inside the New Zealand 20 yet again. They have to convert into points though. Smith to O'Loughlin, cut out ball, Charnley's got speed, Manu has left the door open. He left a little channel for Charnley to sprint to the line and score, and England is in front.
Points up to the coach's box. Left the door just a little bit open. Maybe the confidence was down after not scoring at the far end of the football field. Great work for Josh Charnley. Saves the try with a brilliant tackle on Manu in one end of the field, and then schools him with a little outline. Widdop to the line. The ball here, catch and pass. They miss out Watkins to the outside, and Charnley, well done. Had numbers. The defensive read was good on the inside. It was just Manu was caught too far in field.
Here he is, Josh Charnley.
Yeah, pretty
He's
good.
loved Dunedin. He loves his Nandos, Josh Charnley, and he was sent out on a reconnaissance mission and found that earlier in the week and hosted the team there.
Okay.
But he is a try-scoring specialist, there's no question of that. Some phenomenal efforts in the Super League, really. Last year was quite amazing from Josh Charnley. 34 tries.
Yeah.
He scored 5 in a game this year against Widnes. That was around about June for Wigan.
They really have constructed all their tries to date superbly well. With aplomb, really, haven't they? Worked through the middle, attacked at the edges, the centres, the 5/8s, supplying their wingers with the football, exposing the defensive poor read.
Another one from the sideline for Gareth Widdop. Takes it back a long way, about 25 metres. For a 10-6 lead for England. They have better of possession. They have better of play. Gareth Widdop looks pretty good. There's a gunner, hold it slide. He's hit the post again. He's hit it again. Oh dear.
Unlucky. One left, one right. 2 hits at the left post. But it's the execution from this English side that we've seen in this competition that really has made the difference. Not too many balls hitting the ground, just one so far tonight, and it's gone astray out the back. Everything else out in front. Tomkins wrapping round. Brilliant.
8-6 scoreline, England from the restart, and that is Whitehead with the ball. So just assume England was to win by 2. That wouldn't be enough to displace the Kiwis off the top of the ladder. But it would mean that Australia would have to win by more than 18 points tomorrow.
The way they're playing England, they've got many more points in them. Many more. Here's Graham. Straight up the middle. Holds this time, and that number's on the left.
We'll keep you across the detail of possible scenarios for tomorrow. That one coming from Wollongong. The 4 o'clock local kick-off there. South of Sydney, as now Sam Tomkins has tried to find Watkins. It's ended up with Mannering. Play on is the call. I thought they said knocked down by the Kiwis, and England challenged that it was a knock-on then.
If Kallum Watkins actually gets that ball, he scores. Manu charging it up, needs a touch after a couple of poor touches.
And now stripped of the ball, New Zealand get a penalty. I've got to tell you, with this crowd indoors and the pace of this game, I feel this is Test football that down in this part of the world has to play second cousin, if you like, to state of origin. But this is as good as what gets dished up by New South Wales, Queensland. Don't worry about that.
What about James Graham? There's 28 minutes gone, 70 metres, 9 runs. He's going to run out of the park if he doesn't get a sub soon.
Game 5 of the 4 Nations, and it's another pearler tonight. Now Issac Luke to Martin Taupau, on to Tohu Harris. Contrasting hairstyles across those two. Taupau and Harris. Harris is just one big hairy man. Now it's with Eastwood. He's just one very big man. 5 metres away from the England line. Luke dummy half. Left side this time. Foran to Mannering. Mannering offloads. What a pickup from Foran. Brilliant stuff. 9 metres from the line. Luke. Kiwis down by 2 after they led with the opening try inside 2 minutes. Ball almost lost there, last tackle. Taupau to play it. Luke Johnson, he thought about kicking, had a chance, Whare, unmarked on the outside. Nightingale comes back. All swathed in bandages there to score his second try. Too good.
Take my hat off to Dean Whare. Superb play from the centre. I so thought Shaun Johnson was looking for the little kick in behind, maybe a little grubber along the ground. He decides to go wide, and Whare sums the situation up so well. Here it is here. Out of dummy half from Luke to Johnson, and here, step to the inside and just passes nicely out to Jason Nightingale. He is such a valuable player as Dean Whare. Durable as well. Penrith signed him from Manly. He's played 50 games for Penrith, would you believe, in 2 seasons. So that means he's played every game 2013 and 14, plus 2 finals this year as well. He's developing into one of the premier centres in the competition.
There he is, Dean Farray, 11th test tonight. But the wingers having a night out here. Nightingale a double, Hall and Charnley the try scorers for England, and of course Manu dropped that ball right on the goal line. So all 4 tries to the wingers.
Okay, behind the posts.
And Shaun Johnson kicking to take the lead out to 4. On this angle with this kick.
Time off.
Should explain to those who haven't watched a game at Forsyth Barr, it does look strange to see a cave-like existence at the eastern end of the ground where Johnson is kicking, but that is the versatility of this stadium. They've had concerts the likes of Elton John where they've packed the place out. Over 30,000 fans came to that. So here he is, Johnson kicking into that space and kicking well. Well, that could be a factor. 2 from 2 and Widdop none from 2.
He's done well, Shaun Johnson. Hasn't been a great ground statistically for goal kickers. There's a lot of white posts in the background when you look around the ground. So then kicking the football at the post, sometimes you get a little bit mixed up what pole's what. No problem for Shaun Johnson, however. 2 from 2.
Okay, boys, inside.
And obviously that equation for the final, should New Zealand win by any margin, they go straight through to the final. And Australia will win by any margin tomorrow, will get them there. And Samoa, well, they would be looking at points for and against, but their chances would still be alive. So New Zealand with the ball inside the 20, and Proctor has it.
Second!
2 big sides, 2 big sets of forwards throwing themselves at each other here. 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
Third!
Nightingale, we may have had to visit the Florence Nightingale to get back on. After that nasty zipper appeared right in the centre of his forehead. Here's Harris.
Lovely work from Thomas Leuluai. Dummy left, shift right, Barre out of dummy half, up over the halfway, good yard.
And now it's the Kiwis that are picking up the speed. They will test the fitness of England, who had so much field possession. Oh, it's a mighty kick. It's a mighty one from Johnson. That's a magnificent take by Sam Tomkins. That was a spiralling special that almost kissed this transparent roof here in Dunedin.
Stay square.
As close as a kicker's got to the roof, I would suggest. Good chase from Foran. The take from Tomkins was unreal considering the circumstances. Now, Eastwood it is. Puts a shoulder to the wheel, drives the English back. Indeed.
Awesome kick. Awesome kick from Shaun Johnson.
There's one player who could hit the roof. I would suggest it would be Shaun. We tried a couple here at the captain's run yesterday. Didn't really get close.
Sam Tomkins involved again. Having to field a kick from his New Zealand Warriors teammate. Smith kicks down centre field. He got a good piece of it as well. Hiku's with the ball. Rushes back at them. Hiku does very well. Almost back to the 40. Good run by the young Manly back.
New Zealand seems to have weathered the storm somewhat, and now starting to get a little bit of momentum. Here's coming Manu, 1 out. I wish it was 2 out, 1 pass needed.
To the 40-metre line, New Zealand in possession. Leuluai back out there, Nightingale. And he's been able to offload. Foran sights a little hole, and Foran away. Hill was able to drag him down, but New Zealand back inside that England half. 12 points to 8. Kiwis in front. 6 to go first half. It's been most enjoyable. 32 away from the line. Tohu Harris having an impact off the bench. Got themselves in position for another attacking kick. Oh, he's lost it.
Lost before the player ball.
There you go. The call from Benton.
Cleared the ruck.
Right onto it.
Just when you want to apply a little bit more pressure, make a contest on the last play.
We got good pair of eyes here.
There is all square. Was there a knee in there from Ferris? Of course there was.
Looking good, Tom.
Scrum will pack down 21 metres away from the England line.
Wait. Let's get heads in.
Just to the north of the city tonight here in Dunedin. 10 to 9 local time on a Saturday night. And Burgess is there. That is Thomas with it. And that is where the stint starts for England. And now Whitehead with the ball. Actually, remember this young kid coming out to Australia with the English Academy there a few years back. It's been a handful of years ago. He won the Players' Player on that tour. Stamped as a player of great potential, and he's taken a few years to realise it. And now Widdop up to halfway.
I believe he's attracted some attention in the NRL as well. Just 1 year left on contract, looking to possibly have a start out here.
Ferris went into a dummy half duty there, the Huddersfield back rower. There with the ball, 40 metres away from the line. Here he is, Brent Ferris, swings it left to Widdop, to Bomb, nowhere near the height of Johnson's kick. Hiku's been very good tonight in a position where he is under pressure every time the ball is set his way.
Good pressure on the kicker there. For New Zealand from Tohu Harris. Widdop skied that one into the middle of the field. Kenny-Dowall coming in to do some work. He's been quiet this evening.
Just noticed Sam Tomkins had a little problem at the back. He was with a trainer. I think it's with his hand. But he's still out there at fullback as Leuluai gallops out of dummy half.
Manu loses the boot.
Big boot at that. Now Nightingale. He is looking for work. Come over the left side of the field. Leuluai, Johnson. Let rip another one. Here we go. Not as high as the last one. Tomkins again. Sam Tomkins. And then he's lost it in the play of the ball. New Zealand will get a scrum feed. Sam Tomkins blows up big time.
Well, they're all high-fiving Kieran Foran. I'm not really too sure why. He was actually behind the play. The ball didn't have any part of it. Looked like just a sloppy play from Sam Tomkins, trying to do it all a little quickly after coming up with a marvellous take. Here he goes. Does well, doesn't he? Look how the right leg just shifts to the side, manages to hold himself up there in the air, and there, well, tunnel ball. Look at Foran. Biggest line on the ground. Can't blow up at that, can you?
Well, at least Phil Bentham can understand what Sam is saying. Some of the refs in the NRL had no idea what he was saying when he blew up about things. I go in favour of the referee there. I think attention to detail, not good. It was more Tompkins putting it forward on Harris's leg rather than the other way round. So Johnson, it's a chance for New Zealand. Hiku with the ball. Gee, this had hurt England if they were to fall behind more than 4, given what they've shown over 37 minutes of this first half. Taupau, almost collected high by Burgess. Oh, they are going to call it out. It was a glancing blow, not much more than that.
There's a bit of niggle here. Ferris has come in and reacted to something as well with Marty Taupau for a second effort. They could have blown up.
The high tackle we're going back for.
The penalty had already been given.
High tackle in here.
Ferris pulls his jumper off his shoulder with his arm. Let's have a look here. Good shift from Marty Taupau. Right on the chops, and then he ducks down.
What are we doing, Tom?
Right in front. Would you go for goal here? Would you make it 6 or go for the maximum? Well, there's your answer. They will go the maximum. And Harris is bent back. 2.5 minutes remain just over in this first half. Leuluai rockets the pass out. Hiku a dummy. Hiku. Well tackled low down. It was Matty Smith. It was a good one. Dare say you could call that a try-saver. Now mantling the Bromwich. Took on Burgess. Offloaded. Foran, Harris, Johnson. Proctor in support. Dummy and pass. Nightingale had a chance for 3. But couldn't gather it in.
Johnson had nearly created it. The speed, the movement to the right, but the pass needed to be perfect. Puts his hand up in acknowledgement. Let's have a look at it here. Harris shifts the ball to the one with the wheels, and here he puts it foot down. If this ball is out in front, Nightingale's got a chance. Reaches behind, can't grab it.
So now just under 2 minutes remain first half. Is there a trick shot in this England side? Have they got the daring to try something coming up to half time? Tackle 1-15 out from their own line. Very flat out of dummy half. They almost got themselves in an ugly situation there. Their urgency to get out of trouble. Again with Thomas Burgess over the 30-metre line. Had an ankle problem during the week, Thomas. There was some doubt about him midweek. Missed a session. Hill gets up to the 40. He's from Warrington. Quick play the ball. Ferris switches. Back for Burgess. Oh, Burgess has collected high that time. Just a slapping motion from Bromwich. Last tackle England. There is to be no trick shot. Smith's kick will go close to the sideline. and bounces gently over with 1 minute left on the clock. This is where I go down and I put in a huge push in the scrum, but perhaps I'm looking at the game through rose-coloured glasses, but I'd be trying that.
I think both teams happy to get to the sheds and get some instructions. The pace this game's been played in the first half. It's been pretty frenetic. New Zealand able to compose themselves after England had 65% of possession at one stage. Put themselves back to 45% of possession.
2 minutes,
so they've had some football and scored points when they've needed to.
Discipline here.
And just a couple of errors in the last 10 minutes from the English side.
Heads in, wait for the call. Out.
So New Zealand with the ball.
One, new Brett. Square markers.
So just correcting, we had a little problem with the clock. We in fact now have just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half, so apologies for that. But we are well on track right now. New Zealand in possession and Bromwich on to Harris. So you'd have to think England will get another shot before half-time, and having possession, Leuluai, they roll forward, and Bromwich can't offload that time, or Kenny, through in the tackle, they can't get him down the ground, plays it 5 metres inside his own half. Leuluai has been good, Blair, Manu, beautiful, Foran, Kenny-Dowall forward to Vatuvei.
Forward pass.
No question of that, we are right in line with that on this northern side of the ground.
Well, this is poor attack from New Zealand. Look how flat they are on the outside. Mannering will shift the ball to Foran, and here Manu's actually, well, he's a step in front of Shaun Kenny-Dowall, so you'd have to question, what are you doing? Give yourself an opportunity. Kenny-Dowall was flat as well. Manu was in front.
Well, to be honest, you could blow penalty there.
Heads in.
You could say deliberately forward, he's standing in front of you. You don't pass it to him. It's just poor. And now Charnley with the ball. So now we're inside the final minute of what has been a very good first half of Test Match Rugby League, continuing what has been a very good Test Match tournament. And Ferris's tackle 40 metres from the Kiwis line. New Zealand scored inside 2 minutes and currently lead by 4. It is 2 tries all though. 31 away from the line. A win by any margin tonight. New Zealand straight through to the final. Thomas Burgess off a short ball. Now inside the final 30 seconds of the first half. The crowd, the zoo, up at that western end are getting noisy. 15 from the line. 41-metre gain in this set. To the left side they go. Widdop for Farrell. Farrell will go close, but no! They've stopped him. It's Dean Whare. That saves the day for the Kiwis with a classic around the legs tackle.
Wait. Okay, hold.
Brilliant work.
Hold.
Shifted to the outside. Tomkins had gone on the inside looking for an inside run. But the defence on the right again to the fore. Not only does he deliver an attack, I'm going to call him the postman. Dean Whare delivers on all occasions.
Great stuff. Great first half. With so much to play for tonight in the Four Nations. Here at Forsyth Barr Stadium in Dunedin, 2 tries all, but New Zealand lead England at half-time by 12 points to 8.
Well, Sam, where do you think you can get them in the second half? Plenty of metres being gained in that first.
Yeah, I think we just need to play our rugby down this end of the field. A couple of errors and penalties meant we came off our own end a little bit too much, but we can squeaky clean on that end, then we'll be better down there.
Best luck, mate.
Thank you.
Well done, thank you to Sam Tomkins. 2 tries to Jason Nightingale for New Zealand, 1 to Charnley, 1 to Hall. Repeating half-time here, 12-8, New Zealand over England. We welcome you back to Forsyth Barr Stadium here in Dunedin, and the Kiwis know they are 40 minutes away from sealing a berth in the Four Nations final, a tournament they won the last time it was hosted in this part of the world in 2010, and along the way they put England to the sword, and they're looking to do the same here tonight.
All games gone to the wire, and I'm sure this one will as well. For New Zealand, Tohu Harris come off the bench. I mean, the New Zealand bench was emptied early, courtesy of the the head knock to Nightingale, and also Thomas Leuluai going under the concussion test. But Proctor, boy from the King Country, middle plateau of the North Island, had a good stint as the Tohu Harris.
Daryl, you're the former international. As England returned with Shaun O'Loughlin, sometimes I think coaches outsmart themselves. I think if England is to win this, Daryl Clark has to stay out there. He's their man of steel, he's their player of the year. He was outstanding for Castleford right through the season, and I think by getting him off the field and having Brett Ferris, who is a good back rower, playing dummy half for any length of time, I don't think is going to help the cause here for England.
Well, Clark plays 80 week in, week out, so he's got no problem going the distance or going the 80. But I think the key to a win for the English is their defence. As long as they can stop or limit New Zealand scoring no more than 6 points in this half, I believe they've got 2 tries in them. Their execution's been great. Their structure in terms of their halves, the way they shift the football around. A couple of errors will hurt them, but I think they've got it in them.
New Zealand come back. So at a 4-point margin, obviously New Zealand, if it was to remain that way, they go straight through to the final. And Samoa, well, look, I'll include them in the equation because their form has been good. They've led their opponents until the final 15 in both their matches. Back to the Kiwis until the final 5. They would have to win by more than 6 tomorrow. Samoa beat the Kangaroos by more than 6. Would be a Samoa-New Zealand final. Just one possible scenario.
Okay. Interesting also for the New Zealand side is Issac Luke didn't play a lot in that first half. As soon as Leuluai was ready to come back on, he came back on. So impact from the bench. Taumalolo gets the second win. He'll be back on to make some impact. And Issac Luke late in the game, perhaps.
Here we go, getting ready. Second half of this Four Nations encounter. Right down the bottom of the world at Dunedin. And Adam Blair with the ball on the kick-off return. 11 metres out from the line. Doesn't appear to have been any injury and forced changes at half-time. We'll keep you abreast of that.
Second move, Chris!
And Kiwis in possession on their own 20.
Wait, goal 2.
Yes, it's been some thrilling finishes in the Four Nations so far this year. As now Bromwich backs his way to the 30. Hill was there, so was Thomas Burgess, and O'Loughlin the captain. As Blair tips it along for Harris. Been very impressed with Tohu Harris.
Back up!
Made his debut last year with Melbourne in the World Club Challenge. That looked forward to Blair from Leuluai. A couple of metres inside their own half. Last tackle, the Kiwis. Johnson. And there's another one, launched high. It'll come down 25 out, 38 in fact. Big bounce. Tomkins goes back and scrambles to cover up.
Good well to tidy that up. That ball was spiralling and floating on the way up. And when it came down, it actually came back in the direction that Shaun had kicked it. Tomkins, to his credit, has done well to tidy it up. Ferris pushes out a dummy half, scoops up one-handed, makes a good 10.
Well, apparently there'd been texts between the two all week. Shaun Johnson kept ribbing his Warriors teammate. I'm going to send a few your way. Be ready, my lad, my duck.
There's the value of Leuluai on the field. One-on-one low tackle on Burgess. O'Loughlin out the back.
Smith, good work. Tomkins gets it away. Charnley's a speedster. Here goes Charnley. Slides to the 10. Oh, he got around the outside of Vatuvei again. He was able to come from behind Big Manu. Smith feeds it along. Widdop, keep it going. Farrell, O'Loughlin, brilliant. Sarginson. Oh, the big fella stretches out. Holler scored for England. Touch judge's flag has stayed down. But now they're just going to check it. It will only be to see if a foot is on the sideline.
We've got to try.
I think the grounding. Touch was no problem from where I saw it up here, Vossi. Just a half a question on the grounding. Brilliant play. Again, they go deep down the right.
This is the man at the centre of last week's grounding.
Have a look at this. There it is. As he lost the ball before he grounds it, the foot's great. I think there's a little bit of separation perhaps. We'll get another look here. Reaching out and loses it there.
He's lost the ball. Great call, Daryl. What about the foot? It was 1 millimetre in from touch. But Ryan Hall at the centre, if he scores last week, and some say he did, they're already through to the final. But there you have it. Manu lost it in this corner. It's the Bermuda Triangle for some great finishes tonight. And Hall has now lost it for England.
I just called Thomas Leuluai with a marvellous tackle on Burgess. And guess who's in the low tackle here with the headgear on? absolutely brilliant.
Because he's lost just before the line.
Thomas Leuluai.
Hand over. No.
Well, I said the big bloke. How do you stop him? They have stopped him.
Hand over.
Hall loses the ball.
Yeah, hand over.
That hurts.
Lost.
You know, when they went down
up in Wakefield and all across the north of England.
On you now, Hall.
when they worked over the left edge of the Kiwis, I thought Manu could have intercepted the football. It was nearly out in front of him. Instead, it got to the outside again. Offload through the middle. Nightingale has got pace.
Nightingale. They say he runs like a bloke across a trampoline. It's not a classic style, but he gave it his all there. And now Shaun Kenny-Dowall, 45 metres away from the England line, but no, it really hurts not getting that try straight after half-time. Widdop would have had a shot to put them back in front. Harris has held all simultaneous pass there. You heard the three.
Okay, on three.
That's fair enough.
Okay, goal three.
Now played, 30 away from the line. Leuluai to Bromwich. There's the Bromwich shuffle. He's got a lot of game, Jesse Bromwich. Leuluai on to Foran. Foran patrols the left. It almost opens a gap. That defence was good. 5 from the line. Leuluai, Johnson dabs it through. Here comes Proctor. Tomkins with the ball. Tomkins grounded in goal. And that is a very effective set of 6 from New Zealand.
Brilliant spark. Right through the middle to start with Nightingale to start. And then they come to the right.
When you're there, Rob, yeah.
Shaun gets some time and some space
Time
because
off.
the English are going backwards.
Good set, Shaun.
Subtle
Everybody's
little
doing
kick
the
in
right
behind.
things.
Tomkins tries to clean it up. Good set of 6. Little bit of energy.
First line drop out of the night for England.
Okay, Matty.
It'll be
Stay
Matty Smith
back.
to send it downfield. Here we go. They cannot afford to have New Zealand score next in this match. Blair brings it back, and there is the white ball on show again. Brutal stuff.
Goal first.
Burgess waiting. Now Bromwich makes good ground. 15 in fact.
No one running with him, however, Vossi. All one up.
Goal two.
Leuluai, 25 from the line. Kiwis up by 4. That is Foran. Foran trying to turn Watkins around, but Smith, the inside man, made the tackle. A good one. 15 away. Mannering. Tohu Harris. There is Johnson. Quickly on to Bromwich. England's defence. They try and wrap up the ball. They've achieved that. Ferris was the player in there doing that work in the 15 jumper. Now Leuluai. This is Blair. Nice play. Foran from the Mannering. There goes the beast. Yes! All the wingers have got the prize tonight. Manu puts his name on the scorer's sheet. And the Kiwis, they kick clear here.
New Zealand do to England what England did to New Zealand in the first half. Denied a try at one end, will come down and score at the other. Nice last play option. Simon Mannering, of course, delivering the pass to Manu. Foran the shift, Mannering the outline, Manu into the corner. Too easy. His 18th test try. He was second equal in tries scored for New Zealand on 17 with Shaun Hoppy. Nigel Vagana on 19. One more to join him.
Yeah.
It was the first repeat set of 6 the Kiwis have enjoyed tonight. No surprise they come up trumps. Great skill, we've seen it from England. Great execution, ball out in front. Defensively, the Kiwis have just turned up. They've turned up in the first half. They've bounced back. Now they find themselves on the scoreboard.
What a record he's got. In the NRL, he has scored at least 10 tries in a season for 9 straight years. Manu Vatuvei, 135 NRL tries.
Time off.
And as Darryl has highlighted, his test try scoring record now almost has him at the top of the list for the Kiwis. Shaun Johnson going for 3 from 3. Widdop hit the posts with both his attempts. This to extend the margin to 10. And that becomes a very big assignment for England to knock New Zealand out of the final. So New Zealand can lose here and still make it. Johnson with that kick from the sideline. Johnson unsuccessful. 16-8. Kiwis over England, but just to remind you of that point, if New Zealand was to lose tonight by, let's say, 6 points, they would still be ahead of England. So they would have a spot sealed for next week in Wellington. Tomkins restarts play. Goes long. Goes not too far. It was fielded in goal. And Blair has the responsibility. Oh, he's passed 5 metres out from his own line without looking.
Benji Marshall out the back on the first play. Steve Kerr to be happy, I'm sure. Loving the work of Thomas Leuluai here. Many suggest this is his position next year for the Warriors too, at dummy half. I know Nathan Friend would have something to say about that, but he is just working his craft beautifully.
Now Mannering back to the 30 for the Kiwis. Remembering they were the team to finish off last week, scoring in the last 5 to beat Samoa. And they kept the Kangaroos scoreless week 1 up at Suncorp Stadium in the second half, where they turned a 12-all scoreline into a 30-12 victory. So the form is on the board to finish strongly. Blair wheeled back.
James Graham has had a long spell on the bench for the English side. If he's injured or not, we might get Arlen to check whether he's going to be due back at some stage. They're really missing him.
He's on his feet as we speak, getting ready to come on.
Alrighty, Owen's right onto it. I don't think Graham can get out there quick enough. I want to see Clark back out there. Hall with the ball back to the 20. Again, England failed to make the final, the Four Nations in 2010 down here. Their lone win was against Papua New Guinea at Eden Park.
Sarginson.
Now Tomkins on to Watkins. We haven't seen too much of him tonight, so he's come to centre field to get the ball. Kallum Watkins. Challenge Cup final with Leeds this year. Smith will drive deep. This is from inside the 40. He's got a lot on it. Matt Smith, but not the angle. And Hiku had to sprint across to get to it. He's had a good night, Peter Hiku.
First. I thought he could have got there on the full, deciding to let it bounce at his own peril. However, he gets a friendly bounce. Skinny, Shaun Kenny-Dowall.
He is playing it outside the 20. Vatuvei winds up. And a brilliant tackle low down by Ferris. Felled the beast. Now Johnson thought he had the markers offside. Has offloaded. Kenny-Dowall fend and run and get inside the England half. The crowd lift again. They are a factor here. Now the ball. Taumalolo. The dancing feet of Big Jason. 25 metres from this England line. 16-8. Telling time for England. New Zealand, Proctor, good work. Hiku, then on far right, has offloaded. Foran back with it. Foran wrestles. Almost away. It's a changeover.
That run from Jason Taumalolo. Things have sparked up here on the left. Has left Burgess a little bit ginger. Now with the trainer. Isn't he special? Hall.
Well, I can report Clark is now back out there. Darryl Clark, the Warrington-bound hooker who starred for Castleford this year. He's back on. So Sam Tomkins, a dummy half, but he won't be for long. 45 metres out now inside that Kiwis half. Clark an offload off and Lachlan, I think it was. Clark's away. He's beaten 2. Now he's offloaded. Burgess in support. Back to Clark. He's somehow manufactured a pass. And Widdop ends up with the ball 3 metres from the line. Did I say I wanted to see Clark back out there? It's Clark Kent, it's Superman. Now Tomkins. Oh, and then knocked on. Knocked on the right-hand side.
They deserve to try, the English. Widdop couldn't get the ball out to the left. Graham it was in the middle with a perfect little pass to Clark. Just lovely, straight through there. They came on at the same time. And the football was brilliant. They took their time, they waited. It was Burgess storming onto it. Have a look at this. Just charges into it. Brushing players aside, then the offload. And here, Gareth Widdop. If he could have just funneled the ball to his left to the outside, there was 2 waiting for it. Then finally it comes across to the right-hand side. And there were players on the outside of Ferris as well.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it quick enough. The hands didn't work in sync with the brain. And the ball just bobbled forward a little bit.
I've heard it said, I think it was Warren Ryan who first said it, the former great coach. That was a tuba in the string section right there. Ferris getting a ball like that. And it was a pom-pom. And they needed some sweet violin or cello. And England, a big chance slips by. Still stacks of time though, 28.5 minutes to go.
Some of the players are special, aren't they? You know what I mean? James Graham, the first touch when you get back onto the football field in the front row, you probably just want to take the line on and go the contact. But he's got a subtle skill on the inside to shift it. Just brilliant.
Isaac Luke back out there now. Thomas Leuluai has gone to the bench. And Blair has been really strong. There's been a resurgence this year for Adam Blair, both in the NRL with the Tigers and now at test level. Luke, an expedition for him out of dummy half. Last tackle, New Zealand. The 10 metres was out the door there. Missed by Bentham. Johnson spiralling kick again. Hall, good luck. Out on the fingertips. He's got big hands. He needed them. He's got the ball. Now offloads. Steve McNamara. He's off to the dry cleaners after that pass. England in possession.
Nice play from Hall, and that's what I'm talking about. He looks a little bit uncomfortable catching the high ball, but once he gets it, he hits and spins. Got good footwork on him and a pass.
Possession back level now for the match, with what has transpired in the first 13 minutes of this one. 16-8. As I say, still a lot to go. Graham passes, and that is rushing defence. Very good from Kenny-Dowall on Smith. That is the left centre making a tackle, centre ground. Here is Watkins, and Watkins is offloaded back to Sam Tomkins. This is Matty Smith. Matty Smith rucked in by Blair. Last tackle, England. 33 from the line. It's a slow play the ball when they needed something quick. Now Sam Tomkins, the kick. Oh, it's hit the chest of Manu. Vatuvei gets it. Oh, Manu's knocked off his feet.
Watkins delivers a special. Off balance he was, however, Manu. Kenny-Dowall's been important the last couple of minutes. He's coming and really closing situations down. This time he scoots out of dummy half. Hasn't this Four Nations been a treat?
Oh, this is great football. There's Johnson, exciting, over the top. Now Whare, back to centre field. He's over the 40, offloads to the other beast. That's Eastwood. He's inside. We're going to have a team of beasts here tonight. He loses a bright boot, Greg Eastwood. Now onto a surging Jason Taumalolo. He's run over the top of Shaun. Now he comes back centre field. Wow.
We've got a new bull, a rampaging bull in the paddock.
Sonny Bill who now cooks Jason Taumalolo. And I say that with the greatest of respect to SBW. Mannering centre field, but this kid is damn good. Now offloads to Johnson. Here goes Proctor. Proctor tries to offload. He has. There's a hand in there. England have got it back. Widdop to Clark. The counter-attack now from England. Clark will run. He'll run all day. There's 25 to go here, Darryl. This is going to be fun. This is the best job in the world. We may be at the bottom of it, but this is the best. As Charnley is tackled on the 30.
Goal.
And now Tomkins, and working, Sarginson. Well, that is one way to end a run. Proctor cuts him in half. And it was no magician's trick either. It was the real thing. Sarginson again with the ball. The kid knows he's in test football. He's only 21. Second test tonight. Right on halfway. Now Farrell on to Graham. Tips on to Hill. Hill able to march them up to the 40. Still an opportunity this set. Couple of tackles to go. Clark to Smith right up to the line. That was promising, but that's a good ball and all tackle. Well, that's off the ground, surely.
No, that's simultaneous. That's fair play, Ferris.
I already called it. 5.
There you go. Hard to hear in the stadium. Ferris called to play it. Smith will bolt. Nowhere near the height of Johnson. It's a tester though for Hiku. Hiku has lost it. Play on! Play on for England! They trail by 8. They've got a full set 8 metres out from the line. Sam Tomkins left. They mainly need one tackle. Out to Sarginson. Sarginson, Hall this time. Oh, has he lost it this time as well? Ryan Hall stretches out. They are going to say try this time. Another try to a winger. Ryan Hall has a double. It is all the wingers tonight, and England still very much in the contest.
So deserved for this English side. Tomkins it was who can test the football to give them another set of 6 tackles. They didn't need 6, however. They knew they had them beat. Here's the mistake by Hiku, but it's more the contest from Tomkins. It makes him take his eyes off the football, never going to catch it. And have a look here, Manu Vatuvei is actually in the middle of the field, and the quick shift is needed. And we've seen Dean Whare do this in the first half. Just catch, hold the middle, and go inside, then find the outside, and it's Sarginson delivering for Hall. Beautiful work.
Yeah, no doubts at all about the put down that time. Hall scores it. He's got another one in Test footy.
He was just making you nervous, wasn't he, when he had the same left hand just holding over the top of the ball. Good control.
24 tries now in the Test career of the Leeds winger Ryan Hall, and here goes Widdop. Wow, he's desperate for this one. Of course he wants it, but in light of hitting the post in his previous two, the odds are he'll hit the crossbar on this one. Get all of the woodwork. This to make it a 2-point ball game. 22 and a half to go. Widdop's kick needs to swing. He's got it. Gareth Widdop has kicked it. 16-14. 3 tries all. New Zealand up by 2.
Absolutely brilliant play from both sides, really. From one end to the other. New Zealand right up through the middle, and then England comes straight back downtown. Issac Luke onto the field, courtesy of Thomas Leuluai having a spell.
And they go to mid-range, restart. It comes down 15 metres out from the line, and as a result, that mucks up the plans of reception. Tomkins had no runner to throw it to.
Well done, that's good.
So what a final 22 we're going to have here. Remembering no golden point in the round-robin matches. We will have that at our mercy next week in the final if it gets that close. Graham to Smith, then to Sam Tomkins. The speed is back in the England game. Their confidence is now buoyed. Tomkins gets in a wrestle with Kenny-Dowall. Now they chest each other. There is Watkins wrapped up by Kenny-Dowall. Just inside the Kiwis half. Clark and onto Hill. His pickup after Hiku dropped it was quite superb for a big front rower. Very good work. Last tackle England. Clark, right side. Smith dabs a kick over the head of Vatuvei. Fielded on the fly there by Hiku. And other than that one drop bomb, he's had a good match. Peta Hiku.
They certainly can trouble a side, can't they? Here's Manu again, one out, putting shoulder to the wheel, running straight back into the markers or the A defenders. Their centres are the ones. Watkins has got some good footwork as well as Sarginson, so as soon as they go to the edge, even down a short side, they're troubling the Kiwis.
Proctor going off for the Kiwis. Tohu Harris back into the game. He was fantastic in his first stint. 5 metres short of halfway. Kiwis get a quick play the ball. Luke can cause troubles. Off goes Issac Luke. Very much the jackrabbit there. Adam turned inside out. Now carries Widdop with him. Last tackle, Johnson. The chance to run, get away from Hill. Cut off load, or Kenny. Johnson still, the ball right out. Gets it back inside. Bromwich scoops it up. Foran will get a kick on it. Vatuvei's coming through. Vatuvei with a clean catch. Watkins. Vatuvei dribbles a pass inside, and Smith is there. Watkins has saved the day.
Oh, great work. Wasn't it lovely, the one-on-one contest with Manu. Just pushing the right arm out. Fend. Good kick from Foran. You know when Shaun Johnson come down the left here, the right, sorry, if he catches and passes, they draw a 2-on-1.
If Watkins misses the tackle there, Kiwis kick clear. Now here is Graham. If only they can get themselves in front. Widdop. And then Farrell. But, you know, first they want to win the match, but then 10 points is the magic figure, because a win by anything less than that won't get them ahead of New Zealand on the table. The kick sails down, fielded by Manu, off to Hiku. We get into the final quarter now at Forsyth Barr. First time they've had a test here since 1928, and they are revelling in the going tonight.
And they've also got plenty of energy too. Look at the Kiwis all bunched in the middle of the field, just getting onside now as Manu comes in for a hitter.
James!
Tackled 5 metres short of halfway.
Goal 2, well back.
And Luke brings Nightingale into the action again. So all those tries, 6 tries tonight, shared by the wingers, doubles to Nightingale and Hall, 1 each to Charnley and Vatuvei. Offload there from Eastwood. Nightingale trapped there by his St George Illawarra teammate Widdop. Luke is starting to make merry the running out of dummy half. He's 12 from the line. Oh, he's lost it. Not so merry. Loses the ball. And England will get a scrum feed outside their 10.
The previous play when Eastwood takes it up to the right, he has this little shimmy in him, and he's so hard to handle. Makes good yards and then a quick play the ball. Isaac Luke decides to take advantage of it and head straight back towards the middle of the post. And courtesy of some attention from 3 English defenders, question the carry of the football. Here it is here. Beautiful step. Skips in the air. Goose step, isn't it?
Scissors.
Pushes straight on into Ferris. And here, wow, to be fair, Ferris has a second effort at it with his arm. He rips the football out. And it's referee adjudicating in the favour of the English.
I'm still satisfied with the effort tonight of Bentham, the performance of the referee. Here's the run up and what happens with the ball.
Kieran.
But I will say this, that, and I'd have to watch a replay of high shots, the 10 metres is a bit all over the place. And I know a lot of people are saying that they love the fact that we're back at one referee. But of games of this speed as tonight has been, it seems to be an inconsistent 10 from what I've seen, but the contest is still great.
I think to be fair on your point there, the whole tournament's had it. Vossi, however. And no team's been really disadvantaged or singled out on their own.
And now on to Graham, and that nice ball through the centre. That looked promising for Burgess to get up to halfway. Now Clark. Smith has had a good night, Matty Smith. Then Sam Tomkins on to Watkins. They're deep inside New Zealand territory again. Eastwood made the tackle. 30 from the line. Here come the England Lions. Graham, left side. Widdop, cut out ball. Sarginson. Farrell's overrun him. He's offside, I reckon. Farrell bounces up for Hiku. Hall makes the tackle. I'm sure Farrell was offside. Yes, he was. Absolutely. 100% right. He was offside.
That's affected the play.
They had no block structure here on the left side when they come to Widdop with the football, so he just decides to shift it straight across. Graham it was to find some space and some depth. And don't you love the depth maybe it is of the English? It's really causing the problems. Hall here has a grab at the football, trying to reap it out of Hiku's arms.
On the foot, boys. Wait for the force.
Hit a battle stuff, but Farrell wasn't able to pull out of the action there, even though he would have realised he was astride in front of the kicker.
Move, James!
31 metres away from their line. Kiwis in possession. England led at one stage of the first half when Charnley scored the second try for England for the night. They led 8-6, but that's the only time they've led. Taumalolo with the ball. It's another nail-biter in the Four Nations. Last week, 2-point ball game, Kiwis and Samoa. 4-point ball game, England and Kangaroos. New Zealand get a penalty. And this is a big set of 6 coming up right now.
Good yards again by Taumalolo. And it's the work over the top that finally does the work. Or loosens, jolts the ball free.
Okay, time off.
Well, for our viewers across the north of England, I can only imagine how tense you are watching this. You're hoping for some joy for this England side. They're close at the moment. They're so close. But don't break out the paddies just yet. Here is Mannering taking the run-up. 12 metres away from the line.
Back on, boys.
Same point last year, World Cup semi. It's the other way round. England lead and New Zealand come at the death. Here is Bromwich. 7 metres away from the line. They can go left or right here. Luke sends them right. Taumalolo will be hard to stop. He offloads Johnson, tipped on. Harris, great hands. Not wrapped up by the defence. 15 away, tackle number 3. 15 minutes remain here. Taumalolo, short pass again. Luke in a wrestle again. He wants to take on 3 of them. Wriggling his way through that tackle. 10 from the line. Johnson, Foran, perfectly timed. Mannering. Oh, Matty Smith had hold of a stud to make the tackle. Foran kicks across field. Pressure on Hall. Oh, brilliant take. That is simply magnificent from Hall. And feel the ground, the rumbling feet as Hall ran back for Tomkins. Now away to Charnley. Play of the night, Ryan Hall.
Brilliant defence and then straight into attack. From one to the other. The kick was perfect. Whare up in the air. And then Hall, safe as a house.
And now a penalty to England. Well, is that the turning point of the whole box and dice right there? Hall, the take. Now they're going to be on the attack in New Zealand's half.
Tomkins just with the energy. Here's New Zealand's attack. Foran goes to the line. And just how does Smith hang on to Captain Mannering? Work over top from Tomkins. Sees him pull up short.
Taumalolo taken off again by New Zealand. Blair was sent out there as his replacement, so a short stint there for Jason Taumalolo. This is George Burgess. Can he produce a South Sydney Grand Final try right now for England? It was Sam Burgess last year who scored in that World Cup semi to put them in front. James Graham now, 10 metres away from the line. 16-14,
the set left.
To go. Left is the call from Darryl. Burgess with it. 5 away. Luke around the legs. Clark is dummy half. O'Loughlin captain. They miss out him. Widdop. Beautiful ball. Ferris to Tomkins. Not able to get through. Brett Ferris switched to the left side. Almost came up with a huge play there. Widdop back in front. A juggle from O'Loughlin. On the bounce to Clark. Clark thought about kicking. Now tries a little step. Defence is regrouped. England not their best set of the night. Last tackle. 15 away from the line, inside the final 13 minutes. What a thriller. Matt Smith kicks across to the side of Nightingale. He's got it this time. Nightingale with a take. Well, he does. Well, the better option possibly is the 20-metre restart, but they ruled the penalty for a mid-air tackle.
There was a great wall there from New Zealand. There was no way really any of the English, Sarginson, Hall or anyone were going to get to Nightingale. Have a look at this. He's clean. Johnson, Whare blocking the guys coming through. And then no eyes for the football, and Sarginson just hits him. No damage done really.
And as it turned out, it was the better option for New Zealand to get that penalty and gain another 15 metres from the kick. And now up to halfway in the space of a few tackles. Milking the call there from Phil Bentham. Now Bromwich on to Blair. Blair is 40 metres away. Oh, got flow. Offload. Hiku is inside the 30.
Subtle and late. Adam Blair.
11.5 minutes to go. Does perhaps next scorer win this one? Luke. Trapped there by Ferris. 3 tries all. A goal the difference. Johnson. Bromwich. Kiwis chant here in Dunedin. Mannering with the ball. This is quite daunting for England now to face this. They're running towards the zoo end of Forsyth Barr Stadium. Blair to Johnson. Johnson, the little kick, beautiful trap. It could have been Messi with a trap. And I mean Messi, the footballer, has Widdop come up with it.
Now, Vossi, I just want you to explain, when you say the zoo end, I hope you're not explaining that we've got animals at the football here.
No, it is the university end of the ground.
Goal 2.
And they can be a little wild. The University of Otago students.
Move! Yeah.
In a good way. England with the ball.
Off the ball, Jesse.
Graham up to the 30. Smith, they're on a roll, but Foran and Kenny-Dowall. Kenny-Dowall's come up with some big tackles tonight on that left side. Some good decisions he's made in defence. This is Thomas Burgess.
With 10 to go and plenty of football for the English. He's going to have some more to make as well.
Now to the right. Matt Smith, he may have been tackled in the air there, I thought, after kicking by Blair. Vatuvei underneath it. No report. Smith's in not great shape. Slowly to his feet.
I'm watching Bentham here, the referee. He hasn't made any signal at all.
No.
Seemed to be fair.
Oh, Hiku left it behind. And Nightingale comes up with a ball. So Kiwis in possession, 30 out. Some of the English had criticism last week that the referee missed. Late challenges on kickers. Johnson now, he can run. He's offloaded, look out. He comes. gets to him. New Zealand 15 from the line. Johnson right, Foran left. Foran's got it, will take the run himself. England on the ropes. They're wobbling, they're staggering. Luke is dummy half. There's 9.5 to go. Johnson to Whare. Harris with the ball. England, oh, this is magnificent if they hang on here. In boxing, they're applied the count. One tackle to go this set. Hiku gets it. It was meant to go to Johnson. Hiku kicks it between the posts. Well, that is an entire breakdown. Hiku got in the way of the playmaker.
That is a brain snatch from Peta, Hiku. What are you doing? You should be on the end of the kick if Shaun Johnson's in position to kick it, not stealing it from him. Brilliant work from Johnson on the right edge. Just absolutely fantastic. Simon Mannering pushing himself through to the line. This is Tomkins over the top earlier for him.
Move now, Issac, square.
They've got plenty left here, England.
Yeah. Well, you talk about your bid at redemption. Can you get New Zealand back for that World Cup defeat? You can never exact revenge. That was playing for a World Cup final spot. But we're going into the final 10 with a 2-point ball game here. It was 4 points the difference over at Wembley. Now Widdop. Oh, the ball's gone forward. It's gone forward a long way from Sam Tomkins. The urgency to get it to the outside. They come unstuck.
So some of the rules in DR, when the ball's coming your way, if you're outside the 10 and you're a centre, you just go and stop it. You watch Dean Whare here. Just puts enough pressure on Tomkins as he's catching the football, so he can't get both hands to it, and that propels the ball forward. So again, it's Whare who closes the situation down, but only just. There was 2 free on the outside.
Time off.
Leuluai back into the fray. Just who will he come in for? Will they play Leuluai and Luke at the same time?
Yeah, well,
in the dying
very
stages.
Strong these last 10-15 minutes. He's really come into his own.
Wait for the call.
Scrum right on halfway. Luke with the ball. Into Hiku there. Hiku trapped. Trainer coming across to deliver bad news to someone.
I couldn't take Leuluai off. He's been best on ground for mine when he's been out there.
On to Bromwich. Bromwich 42 metres away from the line. Met front on by James Graham. Play slows down for just a moment. We've barely had time to catch our breath in the second half. Kenny Bromwich is the player who's going to go off. So Leuluai and Luke will be out there at the same time for New Zealand. Luke right side. Johnson out in front. Whare to Nightingale. Looking for a hat-trick. Kicks back in field. Bounces there. Tomkins is with it. Tomkins comes back from the end goal. That is Super Rugby League with a capital S.
Fantastic. Foran over the top with a slap into the back of Tomkins. And it's on.
Here they go. In front of the zoo. Oh, the animals are hitting the cages. The howler monkeys are going off at this, right in front of them.
Thought you were going, mate.
It started with a kiss or a push, if you like.
Okay, Joe.
And it ended like this.
Yeah.
Just a little slap. Not too sure what has upset the one they call Foz, Kieran Foran. Makes a good tackle on Tomkins as he's bringing the ball under the post back into the field of play.
I've got to tell you that from the zoo, one of the animals got out and he hasn't got much fur. We'll just leave that for the papers tomorrow. So a hold-up in play will give the players a break. The streaker, meantime, has run the whole distance before he's been tackled by 5 defenders. This was the ground we had the streaker at 2 years ago, and Ruben Wiki cleaned him up. What about the work of Tomkins?
And the work of Foran over the top here to make the tackle. Resenting the tackle, Foran, and there's a little push from Tomkins. I suppose it's nothing, and it's nothing on the way back as well. But it just initiates a little bit of biff.
Yes, mate.
Was it Joel Tomkins who ran in with a hit? The brother, looking after the brother?
Yes.
I think the caution will be just relax, as we had in the first half.
Yep.
Angry reaction, just relax.
We sometimes adjudicate on very little, do we?
Yep.
Now, last night at the team dinner for the Kiwis, there was a guy called Mark Broadhurst, a famous Kiwi, who can hand it out the jumpers. If he sees the game stopped for this, what do you think?
Wow.
He's still working in the freezing works, would you believe, at Belfast.
Is that right?
I mean, he played for Manly and a couple of brutal games there against Newtown.
The 81 game.
Okay.
Hang on, we'll listen to this.
You've got to stay at the back of the head, okay? You've got to stay at them situations. Okay.
Joel Tomkins it was,
Penalty to
looking
you,
after his brother.
mate. Just telling your brother because he ran in, that's all. This is it, mate.
There you go.
Ready?
There you go. And that's all it is. But Broadhurst versus Bowden, one of the most celebrated punch-ups of all time from 81 at the SCG. So there you go. Bentham's handled that. We've had a streaker. It's given the players a 2-minute break or maybe longer. Here we go. 7.5 minutes to go.
First, Kevin!
Tense test match football tonight in Dunedin. New Zealand lead by 2. Burgess of the Thomas variety, almost back to halfway. Now Clark on to Graham, to Matty Smith, Tomkins, Watkins, quick hands, Charnley wants to take them on. Met by Foran, offloaded. Oh, Watkins has put it down. New Zealand force the error, and the crowd goes up again.
Accidental offside.
The attack was perfect once again. And they unleash on the outside in terms of Charnley. The D had come up, and you see them all come up and close down, which is fine because it gives the players in behind time to get across. Look at that, Manu can come in. Foran is on the outside, and he's got Leuluai in behind as well. When they shift it straight back in, well, he cops it straight in the mush. Does Kallum Watkins?
Good use of the word mush. Right the mush. The equation right at the moment. New Zealand, if it stays the same, straight through to the final, it would mean Australia a win by any margin tomorrow, go past England, and for Samoa, they would have to win by more than 8 points. 6.5 to go, penalty, New Zealand.
Working in and over the ball.
Time off, we're ready to go.
7-5 penalty count, sorry Daryl.
There's still a twist to come in this game.
Okay, mate, time off.
Just a little bit of execution letting England down in their play.
Come on, Daryl, ski that.
Jeez, I'd love to see this stadium with 30,000 in it. Boy, it's an atmosphere here tonight. Tohu Harris.
James!
Great input off the bench tonight. The young Melbourne Storm forward. Luke to the right. This is Mannering. The mention at the top. Now number 5 on the all-time appearance list.
Goal 2.
26 away from the line. Foran is tackled by Clark. Another big tackle. 19 metres away from the line. 5.5 to go. Home team up by 2. Blair almost puts Harris away. 9 from the line. Luke to Johnson. Johnson inside to Mannering.
5. Off we go.
Great defence, England. Ferris there, front on, over the head. It came out to Proctor, offloaded Johnson, scrappy Kiwis, Nightingale with it, they're going backwards. Hiku's got the ball, he'll kick this time, he got it through. Charnley runs at it, backs himself and comes up with the ball.
Only had one option, didn't he? Needed to pick it up on the fly and get going. And did well doing so as well. Here's Watkins into heavy traffic. Blair, Nightingale, Harris.
Kiwis close to sealing the deal for Wellington next week.
Jason!
Again, they could lose here and still seal a berth. At the moment, it's looking that way that they will do it with a victory. Take everything else out of the equation. England with the ball, tackle 4, 25 metres out from their own line. Is there a player here who could chip over the top? A little bit of daring. Burgess to play it. Thomas, 35 from the line. Clark to Smith. The safe play. Kicks downfield. It's not his longest. Vatuvei goes back. Will run it back for the Kiwis. Manu runs hard. Is bet hard. 30 metres from the New Zealand line. 4 minutes to go.
18 hit-ups for the match for Manu Vatuvei. Good numbers from the big guy. 125 metres. Didn't have the happiest game in the first half. Redeemed in the second.
16-14. Kiwi chant again. 4 metres short of halfway. Luke on to Harris. Another surging run by the hairy one. 41 from England line. Luke, Mannering, they go safety first in this set. Last tackle. Now there's only 3.5 remaining. Johnson says there's still time to test out my brother stop with a catch. But another set starts for England deep inside their own half. Sarginson comes back. 15 out from their own line. Widdop now to Hall. Hasn't been as busy tonight as he was last week. Tackled there by Mannering. Another tackle for the captain. He's made 37 tonight. Chance on the right side. On bounces awkwardly. No knock on in it. England hang on to the ball. It could have gone either way there. Tomkins driven back by Blair. Blair gives him what for as well. Watkins has got it. Can't position Charnley just yet. Tries to get on the outside. He ran over the sideline. He ran over the sideline. The flag went straight up as Charnley went downfield. But it's called back for a New Zealand scrum feed with 2.5 to go. England need to stop the clock.
Don't you think the crowd are clapping the touchy? It was going to be a bit of footwork from Watkins. And here just puts a boot in touch before he feeds it back into Josh Chanley. They really have some skill, don't they? Left and right centres.
That's the test match touch judge of the year right there. Deacon and McNamara. They can't watch. They can't watch. In the north of England, they're listening, but they're not watching. They can't have their hearts broken again. They can't come this close, can they? 16-14. Kiwis with the ball. High pass there to Johnson. Now Hiku. 3 tries all. You've got to keep reminding yourself about that. Last week, England went right to the wire with the Kangaroos. They lost by 4. 31 from the line. Luke at dummy half. They will go left. Foran keeps it tight. Leuluai on the end of that. They've just slowed things up a little. They don't need to score. Luke, short side. Foran, Kenny-Dowall headed back infield. Tries to get around Graham. Ferris is there with the Bulldogs front rower. 19 out. Still 2 tackles left in this set. Luke to Johnson. This is Harris. Harris, front and centre. Last tackle. A kick to the in-goal could be deadly as far as the England chances are concerned. Johnson is the player to deliver it. It's trapped up. Hang on! Widdop has trapped it. He's over the 30. Widdop has tackled short of the 40. There's still a pulse. They're still alive. Send the priest away. Don't deliver the last rites. Smith has got it out to O'Loughlin. In fact, Tomkins is tackled 39 metres away from the New Zealand line. Back to centre field. They'll have one last red-hot go. Hill with the ball. 30 from the New Zealand line. 4 tackles down now. 1 minute to go. Graham offloads O'Loughlin this time. O'Loughlin offloaded. Graham on the ground passes. That is quite superb. Smith to Watkins. Watkins 20 metres out. Almost loses his shorts. That's not quite so sensational. Taken around the legs by Kenny-Dowall. This is Smith. He offloads. Is it the last tackle? Clark's offloaded. Tomkins, now it's the last. 12 minutes from the line. Maybe their last shot. Smith kicks across field. He'll look for Sarginson. Batted back for Tomkins. Kept alive for Graham. Wraps around with Widdop. Widdop throws it forward. I thought to Sarginson. Kept alive for Hall. Back to Graham. Graham's going to bomb it to the right side. Here comes Charnley. It's off Vatuvei. It's gone forward. Penalty. Penalty to England. Penalty to England. But a draw's no good to them. A draw would be no good, so no point going for the goal. Or is it good enough? No. Well, they'd have to hope that Samoa beat Australia tomorrow, so someone has to do the maths very quickly.
This is it, boys.
Do we want to kick for goal, draw, and have Samoa win tomorrow? Or do we go for the win?
Oh, where do you start and where do you stop on that passage of play?
Joel.
They take the tap. This is it. This is the last roll of the dice. And Graham has lost the ball. Graham gets up. Gives Phil Bentham a goalful. But New Zealand is through to the final. The crowd erupts at Forsyth Barr Stadium. What a night of Test match rugby league. And England's chances rest in the laps of Samoa, coming up with a narrow victory over the Kangaroos tomorrow. 16-14. New Zealand beating England 3 tries all, and only a Johnson conversion. The difference between the teams in Game 5 of a fantastic, a sensational Four Nations. That is amazing. What a finish. I think we can go down to the ground right now and hear from the New Zealand captain.
Simon, it's not that we're a big smile off your face. That was a hell of a test.
It's been a great tournament. It just keeps getting better and better to watch, I guess. And yeah, she was a tired battle, and mate, we just wanted to get a test win down here in Dunedin. We haven't played down here a long time, and yeah, happy to be there next week.
That English onslaught, you got yourselves back into the game after that first 20, and then you just dominated.
Oh, I don't know about if we dominated, but they played some great footy, really shifted the ball and chanced their arm, and defensively put us under a lot of pressure. Thought we scrambled pretty well. Still probably let some tries in we should have stopped, but just happy to get the win.
Nice to see Jason Nightingale get down after what happened last week.
Yeah, he's a great player, great finisher, and yeah, they're all the boys that are real dig tonight, so just got to carry it on into next week.
Weight lifted off your shoulders, into the big one next week in Wellington.
Yeah, I don't know if the weight's lifted off yet. You know, we still got 1 more week to go. It's been building nicely, and yeah, looking forward to Wellington.
Well played, mate.
Thanks. Cheers, mate.
Let's stay with the ground and Owen Guttenbill downfield with the players.
Well, Shaun, you got what you came for. A tough game. Didn't get the result, but you left everything out there.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough. It's disappointing, but we knew it was going to be tough to get the win and also to get that 10 points we're chasing. But credit to our boys. They dug in. We had a great dig at them, but yeah, we just come short today.
Did that play on your mind at all, having to score more points?
Not really. We was just going out to get the win, and then if we was in a good position, and we knew we might have to push the ball to get a try, but we were just trying to get that win to start off with.
A big wait tomorrow to see what happens. You still a chance?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. It's out of our hands now. We wanted to come here, get that win, get there by our own right, but we've not done that today, which is tough at the minute, but we'll just sit and wait and see what happens now.
Well, best of luck.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you to the two captains. So the equation for tomorrow, Australia win by any margin, it's Australia-New Zealand final. If Samoa win by 8 or more, it's Samoa versus New Zealand. If they were to win by less than 8 Samoa, it would be New Zealand versus England. Back down to Stephen McIver.
2 tries, chasing Nightingale. A hell of a test, as I said to Simon.
Yeah, pretty awesome. You know, great to play in front of such a great crowd, and great to win such a close match. And I think you know, we've had a couple of great battles against England the last couple of times we played them, but that definitely goes down in one of the toughest.
So much was talked about of trying to stop them on the edges, but defensively in that second half, the Kiwis just stood tall.
Yeah, well, that's it. We really worked hard for each other on the inside. I think you noticed us working hard on the inside and making sure we filled any gap that was created. You know, we didn't do a great job of slowing the ball down, but everyone worked hard from the inside and made sure that we covered each other's inside.
These are what tests are made about, aren't they? These types of matches.
Yeah, well, it's you know, these 3 tests that we've had in the last few weeks have all been close, and yeah, awesome to get that result and know that, you know, we're safe going into the final of the Four Nations.
How good's this place, Forsyth Barr, and this crowd?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great to play down the South Island. You don't get the opportunity too much. You know, my parents live on the west coast of the South Island, so they you know, took a few hours to get here, but it's great to come down and play in front of people that you don't get the opportunity to do very often.
How's the head feeling?
Yeah, it's a bit dusty. You know, it's all right. I'm a bit dizzy, but probably not making much sense at the moment, but you know, nothing a few stitches can't fix.
Plenty of sense, mate. You got the win. See you in Wellington.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Yes, the modelling crew chasing Nightingale on hold. Consecutive weeks, New Zealand win by 2 points, and for England, week 1 win by 6, week 2 lose by 4, week 3 lose by 2. What a tournament. What a tournament this Four Nations has been. And that scoreline again tonight, New Zealand 16, England 14.